"You're late again," I said, watching the door like I always did, hoping this time he'd surprise me. Tyler shrugged off his jacket, eyes glued to his phone. "Work ran late. Sorry." "Work," I echoed, biting my tongue. The same excuse. For months. He flopped onto the couch, the one with the worn-out cushions and stains we never bothered to clean. "What's for dinner?" "Takeout," I muttered, staring at the faded TV screen. We'd watch the same shows every night, the same episodes on Netflix, as if repeating them could fill the silence between us. Tyler didn't look up. "Did you order the usual?" "Yeah." My voice sounded flat even to me. I wanted to scream at him for being so indifferent. Instead, I swallowed the words and went to the kitchen. The apartment smelled like whatever the neighbors cooked downstairs, a mix of spices and burnt oil. It felt like a cage. "Ty, can we talk?" I tried once more when he settled next to me. He glanced at me, his eyes tired but distant. "About what?" "Us. This. Whatever this is." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "We're fine. Just tired, that's all." "No, we're not." My voice cracked, but I pushed on. "We haven't really talked in weeks. You come home, sit there, watch TV, and that's it. I feel like I'm living with a stranger." Tyler shifted uncomfortably. "It's just stress, you know how work is." "But what about me?" I whispered, heart pounding. "Do I even matter anymore?" He looked away, silence stretching between us. I hated feeling like this. Small, invisible. We'd been together 3 years, shared dreams, late-night talks, and lazy Sundays. But now I felt suffocated, trapped in a routine that crushed the person I used to be. "Maybe you're just bored," he finally said, voice low. "Bored? How dare he? I'm not the one who's checked out," I snapped, regretting it instantly. His jaw clenched, and the room got colder. We sat in silence, the only sounds the clatter of the takeout containers and the TV's drone. Later, lying in bed, I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing. Did I still love him? Or was I just scared of being alone? The thought made my chest tighten. A week ago, I caught a glimpse of a message on his phone, a name I didn't recognize. I brushed it off, telling myself I was overthinking. But nights like this, the doubt gnawed at me. "Tyler," I said softly the next morning as he sipped coffee. Are we okay?" He looked up, forcing a smile. "Yeah, baby, just tired." But his eyes said otherwise. I wanted to believe him, to hold on to the good memories. "Remember when we first moved in here?" I tried. He nodded, smiling genuinely, for a moment. Tiny apartment, no furniture, but we were happy. "Yeah," I whispered. "We can be happy again." He reached for my hand, but pulled away quickly. Something was changing between us, and I wasn't sure I could stop it. Days passed with the same routine, Tyler distant, me restless. I found myself making little comments, hoping to spark a reaction. "Could you maybe pick up some laundry detergent next time? We're out." "Sure," he said without looking up. "It's been a while since we went out. Maybe dinner this weekend." He hesitated. "Maybe." The uncertainty felt like a slow poison. I hated how I started noticing everything. How he chewed his food. How he left socks on the floor. How he barely kissed me goodbye. I told myself these were signs, but also excuses to justify my own unhappiness. One night, after a fight over nothing, he said, "You're acting like I'm the bad guy here." "I'm not," I cried. "I just don't know who you are anymore." He stood up, voice cold. "Maybe you never did." The words hit me harder than any slap. I watched him leave the room, the door closing softly behind him. Alone, I finally let the tears fall. I was torn between love and resentment, between hope and despair. I didn't know what was breaking more. Us, or me. The calm before the storm was over. "Why is your phone buzzing so much lately?" I asked, trying to sound casual, but my voice cracked. Tyler didn't even look up. Work stuff. Nothing for you to worry about. I nodded, forcing a smile. But inside, something twisted. Later that night, I was helping him charge his phone when it lit up with a message. I caught a glimpse before he locked the screen. The Yule name said Maya. I froze. Maya! Who's Maya? Who's Maya? I blurted out, heart pounding. Tyler sighed, clearly annoyed. Just a co-worker. Don't read into it. Why don't you want me to read it? I pushed. He rubbed his eyes. Because you'll jump to conclusions again. I bit my lip. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I'm paranoid, I said softly. He looked at me then, eyes tired but gentle. You're stressed, that's all. I wanted to believe him, but that nagging doubt stayed. The next day, I found myself watching him more than usual. When he picked up his coffee, I noticed how his hand lingered a little too long on the screen. He laughed at his phone. I wondered who made him smile like that. Why are you so distracted? I asked over breakfast. He shrugged. Nothing, just tired. But his eyes told a different story. Later, I saw him hide his phone when I walked into the room. Ty, why the secrecy? I demanded. He narrowed his eyes. I'm not hiding anything. Then why do you jump when I come in? Because I don't want to fight, he snapped. I hated the tension between us, the way silence filled the cracks. I started picking fights, tiny things that didn't matter. Why didn't you put the dishes away? You forgot to lock the door. I asked you to call your mum last week. Did you? Each time, he'd look at me like I was crazy. Why are you doing this? He finally asked, voice low. Because I need answers, I said, almost whispering. He ran a hand through his hair. There's nothing to tell. But I wasn't convinced. One night, after he fell asleep, I grabbed his phone again. This time I found messages, flirty, casual, a tone I never heard from him. Hey, you looked great today, one read. I wanted to scream, cry, punch something. Instead, I sat frozen, heart breaking in slow motion. The next morning, I couldn't keep it inside. Who is she, Tyler? My voice was shaky. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Who? The girl you're texting. Don't lie. He sighed deeply. She's just someone from work. It's nothing. Nothing? I laughed bitterly. You call that nothing? He stood up. I'm tired of this. Then why are you doing it? I demanded. He avoided my eyes. Tell me the truth, I whispered. For a moment, silence stretched so thick I could barely breathe. Finally, he muttered, I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to stop lying. He ran a hand over his face, exhausted. I'm sorry, he said quietly. Sorry doesn't cut it. Days passed like this. Cold shoulders, whispered accusations, empty apologies. I talked to Sarah one evening, needing someone to hear the chaos inside me. Sarah, I don't know what's real anymore, I confessed over the phone. Have you talked to him? Really talked? She asked. I tried. He shuts down or lies. Be careful, okay? Don't lose yourself in this. I'm scared I already have. She was right. The more I dug, the deeper I sank. I felt like I was watching my marriage unravel from the front row. At work, my mind wandered, replaying every suspicious moment. I found myself replaying Tyler's words and wondering which ones were real. One night, he came home smelling like perfume, not mine. I caught him staring at his phone, smiling. I wanted to ask, but the words stuck in my throat. Instead, I said, You're miles away. What's going on? He blinked, surprised. Nothing. I didn't believe him. How long has this been going on? I finally asked, voice breaking. Stop. Just stop, he snapped. I hated that fight more than any truth. I hated how much I needed to know. I hated how alone I felt. I started staying up late, scrolling through his messages, searching for answers. Every unread text made my stomach twist. Every hidden call log stung. One morning, I confronted him with what I'd found. His face went pale. He looked away, quiet. "I can't do this," he said. "Then what are we doing?" I demanded. He didn't answer. I realized then that trust was gone. I was trapped in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. But I was still holding on, desperate for the man I loved to come back. For now, all I had were questions, and a growing fear I didn't want to admit. I never wanted to believe it. But that morning, the truth hit me like a punch. Tyler's phone was unlocked on the kitchen counter, screen glowing. I saw the photos first, her face smiling back at him. My stomach twisted. Whispered, "No, this can't be real." Then came the call logs. Dozens of late-night numbers, names I didn't recognize, and the texts. More than just flirty, almost intimate. "Who is she?" I asked, voice trembling. Tyler looked up, eyes narrowing. "What are you doing on my phone?" "I found the photos," I said, holding the screen like evidence in a trial. He scoffed. "Photos mean nothing." "Nothing? Then why are you hiding them?" He stood, calm but cold. "I don't owe you explanations." "Don't you?" My heart pounded. "After everything." He crossed his arms. "You want the truth? Fine." I waited, breath held. "I never wanted to hurt you." "But you did." "No, He stopped, searching my face. "I trusted you," I said, voice breaking. "And I broke that trust," he admitted quietly. I shook my head. "You don't get to just say that." His eyes hardened. "You think you're perfect? You think I'm the villain? Don't turn this around on me." "I'm not. You lied, hid things, cheated." "I made mistakes," he said, "but you pushed me away." "What?" I snapped. "I was suffocating, yes, but you could have talked." He laughed bitterly. "Talk? When all you did was accuse?" "I was trying to save us." He scoffed again. "You don't save what's already dead." The words cut deeper than any knife. I sank to the floor, tears burning. "Why?" I whispered. "Because it wasn't enough," he said. "Not enough? You changed. We changed." I clenched my fists. "I stayed. I fought." "You fought by pushing me away." I shook my head. "I needed you. And I needed something else." His voice was almost a whisper. I wanted to scream, but the sound was caught in my throat. "Was it just one time?" I managed. He hesitated. "No. No." My heart shattered. "How long?" "Months." "Months?" I echoed. "All this time?" He looked away. "I can't believe you." "You don't have to." I thought of every moment we shared, the laughter, the plans, the dreams. Were they lies? "Did you love me?" I asked, barely able to breathe. He paused. "I thought I did." "Thought?" I was confused. "That's your excuse?" He swallowed. "I never stopped caring, but it didn't feel true." "How do you live with yourself?" "I don't know," he admitted. I wanted to hate him, but the hurt was tangled with love. I stood shakily. "I need space." He nodded, defeated. I walked away, heart pounding, mind racing. Was I crazy for hoping he'd change, for believing in us? That night I couldn't sleep. I replayed every fight, every silence. Was I blind, or was I just afraid to see? The next day I called Sarah. "I found out," I said, voice shaking. "Oh, honey," she whispered. "I don't know what to do." "Let it out. Tell me everything." I spilled the story, the photos, the calls, his denial. "How can he be so cold?" "Pain makes people cruel," she said softly. "I feel like I'm drowning. You're not alone." Her words were a lifeline. I thought about confronting Tyler again. "Do I even want to see him?" Sarah asked. "I don't know. Take your time." I hung up, tears streaming. I looked at my reflection, broken, confused, scared. How do you rebuild after this? That afternoon, Tyler came home early. He found me sitting on the couch, silent. Can we talk? I don't think so. He sat beside me, close but distant. Why did you do it? I lost myself. You lost yourself in someone else. He didn't answer. I thought we had something real. We did, he said quietly. Then why destroy it? I'm sorry, he whispered. But sorry isn't enough. He reached for my hand. I pulled away. I need time. He nodded, eyes full of regret. As he left the room, I realized I couldn't trust him anymore. Not fully, not ever. The betrayal wasn't just his, it was ours. And now, I was left to pick up the pieces. I don't know how much longer I can do this, I told Sarah one night, voice low, careful. She nodded, eyes steady. You're stronger than you think. I have to be, I whispered. But Tyler, I need him to see me, to feel sorry, to want me back. Sarah raised an eyebrow. And what if he doesn't? I laughed, bitter and soft. Then I'll make him. That was when I started putting on my act, hurt, broken, but dignified. I'd catch Tyler's eyes across the room and look away, pretending to cry. When he asked if I was okay, I'd say, I'm trying. One night, he sat beside me and asked, Are you really okay? I'm scared, Tyler, I said, voice trembling. Scared we're slipping away. He reached out. We're not. But I feel alone. He pulled me close, and for a moment, it felt like the old days. But inside, I was making plans. I needed something more. Someone to lean on. Jackson. I remembered the way he used to make me laugh in chemistry class, the reckless charm. I typed his name into my phone, heart pounding. Hey, it's been a while, I messaged, fingers shaking. Seconds later, a reply. Ali. Wow, how have you been? I smiled, pretending the weight in my chest didn't exist. We talked late into the night. I'm sorry things aren't good with Tyler, he said. I'm trying to hold on. Sometimes, holding on isn't enough. His words felt like a lifeline. I found myself craving his messages, the way he made me feel alive. I told him little things, how tired I was, how I missed connection. He listened. One evening, I met him for coffee, the same reckless excitement bubbling up. He smiled, eyes bright. Ali, you look amazing. I blushed, feeling seen, but guilt shadowed me. Tyler didn't know, couldn't know. I kept my mask on at home. Silent tears, whispered apologies. Why do you look like you're holding back? Tyler asked once. Just memories, I said, swallowing, hard. Jackson became my secret, my weapon. Every message with him was a spark, a promise of something new. But my heart was torn. I love you, I told Tyler once, voice shaking. He didn't say it back. I wanted to scream at him. Then why did? You lie? Because I was afraid, he said quietly. Afraid. It made me furious. I'm afraid too, I snapped. Afraid you don't want me. Tyler's silence was deafening. The more I played the hurt wife, the more Tyler tried to fix us. But he didn't see the real plan brewing inside me. One night, Sarah warned, Be careful, Ali. Revenge can burn. I'm careful, I lied, but inside, I was reckless. I sent Tyler subtle messages, texts dripping with pain, photos of tears I didn't shed. He called, worried. I miss you, I whispered into the phone. I'm here, he said. Yet, my mind raced. How could I make him regret? How could I make him pay? Jackson waited in the wings, promising escape. The lines blurred. I hated myself and needed him. The mask was perfect. Sympathy for Tyler, passion for Jackson. Who are you? I asked myself in the mirror. No one, I answered. And that scared me. Where were you last night? Tyler asked, voice low but sharp. I blinked, caught off guard. Just at Sarah's. We were watching movies. He narrowed his eyes. It's late for movies. Yeah, we lost track of time, I said quickly, forcing a smile. Tyler didn't smile back. I could feel the weight of his suspicion pressing down on me. Later that day, Jackson's name popped into my mind like a secret I was desperate to hold onto. I texted him, "Can we meet? I need to talk." His reply came almost instantly. Always. The thrill of seeing his name on my screen made my heart race, but guilt gnawed at the edges of the excitement. That evening, I slipped out while Tyler was at work, telling him I was meeting Sarah. Jackson waited in a dim cafe, his grin wide. "Ali," he said, pulling me into a hug. I almost melted into him. "I missed this," I whispered. He smiled, eyes dark. "Me too." We talked for hours, about everything and nothing. I confessed my doubts about Tyler, my heartbreak, and the loneliness that swallowed me whole. Jackson listened like no one else did. But every time my phone buzzed with a message from Tyler, my chest tightened. Back home, Tyler barely spoke but watched me closely. "Is something going on?" he finally asked one night. I hesitated. "No," I said. He didn't believe me. Days blurred into a cycle of secret texts and stolen moments with Jackson and tense silences with Tyler. My mind was a whirlwind. One afternoon, my sister called. "Ali, are you okay? You seem different." "I'm fine," I said, voice strained. "Because you're lying," she said softly. Her words stung more than I expected. I changed the subject quickly. Later, Sarah caught me alone. "Ali, you're losing yourself," she warned. "I'm just trying to survive," I shot back. She didn't argue. Tyler confronted me again, eyes searching mine. "Why are you shutting me out?" "I'm not," I lied. He didn't press, but I could see the doubt in his gaze. That night, I sat alone, phone in hand, heart torn. Jackson's messages brought warmth. Tyler's silence brought pain. I was juggling two worlds, and the weight was crushing. When Tyler asked about my late nights, I told half-truths. When Jackson asked for more, I hesitated. "I can't keep doing this," I whispered to myself. But the fear of losing both kept me trapped. Sarah's voice echoed in my head. "Be careful, Ali. This path will burn you." I forced a laugh, but inside I was already on fire. "Who's Jackson?" Tyler's voice was sharp, cutting through the quiet of the room. I froze. "What?" "Don't play dumb. I found his messages on your phone." I swallowed hard, heart pounding. You lied to me, Ali. How long?" I looked away, shame burning my cheeks. "A few months." His face twisted with anger and hurt. "Months? After everything I did." "You betrayed me first," I shot back, voice trembling. He laughed bitterly. "Is that supposed to justify this?" "I was hurt, Tyler. I was lonely. Lonely. You had me, but you weren't there. Not really." "I made mistakes," he said quietly, eyes dark. "So did I. We destroyed this," he said, voice breaking. "I know." We stood in silence, the weight of our sins pressing down. "I wanted revenge," I confessed. "But it's tearing us apart." He nodded slowly. "Maybe it's time to stop." I looked at him, tears in my eyes. "I don't know if we can fix this." "Me neither," he admitted. The marriage hung by a thread, fragile and worn. But for the first time, I saw the truth. Revenge wouldn't heal me, only letting go might. "I don't think I can do this anymore," I said to Sarah during our session, voice barely above a whisper. She looked at me with soft eyes. "You can. You just have to take it one day at a time." I shook my head. "I don't even know who I am without Tyler, without all the lies. Who were you before all this?" I closed my eyes, memories flooding in. Happy, hopeful, and now broken. Empty. I'm sorry you're hurting. I wiped a tear away. I feel like I'm drowning in guilt and regret. Sarah nodded. That's part of healing, feeling the pain. But some days it's too much. I know, but you're not alone. After the session, I sat in my apartment, the silence deafening. I stared at old photos of us, smiling, unaware of what was coming. I miss those days, but they felt like a different life. Tyler's absence was a hollow ache inside me. I kept replaying every mistake, every lie. How did it come to this? I whispered. Sometimes I called Tyler, but his silence crushed me. Other times I screamed into pillows, desperate to release the pain. Slowly, I started to find strength in small things. Morning walks, journaling, Sarah's calls. I wasn't fixed, not yet, but I was trying. Tyler called again, Sarah said, voice cautious. I stared at my phone. I'm not answering. He wants to talk. I don't want to go back to that cycle. Sarah nodded. You're stronger now. I took a deep breath. I'm done begging. That morning, I set boundaries. No more late-night texts. No more excuses. No more lies. I blocked Jackson too. His messages had become poison. One last text. I can't do this anymore. Goodbye. The silence was a relief. I focused on me. Morning runs, therapy, journaling. I discovered who I was beyond betrayal. When Tyler finally called, I answered. Ali, can we talk? I'm listening. I'm sorry. I forgive you, but I can't forget. He sighed. I understand. We spoke honestly. No blame. I was firm but kind. I told him I needed space. No promises, no expectations. For the first time, I felt peace. I was letting go, not of love, but of pain. I was rising. I heard whispers before I saw the posts. Did you see what they're saying about Tyler? Sarah's voice was tight. He's been exposed, I said, trying to sound numb. But inside, my heart raced. The photos, the messages, they were everywhere now. Tyler's name dragged through the mud. I sat alone, scrolling through comments. Some cruel, some sympathetic. I felt strange, vindicated, but hollow. One afternoon I called him. Tyler, we need to talk. He sounded tired. What now? This can't go on. He was silent. I'm not angry anymore. Just done. Ali, please. No more lies, no more games. He sighed. I never wanted it to end like this. Neither did I. We spoke quietly, the weight of years between us. I told him I was moving forward, without hate, but with strength. I forgive you, I said softly. But I'm not coming back. He didn't argue. For the first time, I felt free. I closed my phone and breathed deeply. This was my new beginning. Life's not perfect, is it? Sarah asked during one of our walks. I smiled, feeling the sun on my face. No, but it's real. I've learned to find joy in small things. Morning coffee, the way leaves dance in the breeze. I'm trusting myself again, I told her, slowly. She nodded. That's how it should be. I'm cautious now, opening my heart carefully, but I'm ready to love, on my terms. Sometimes I catch myself thinking about Tyler, not with anger, but understanding. We both broke, both lost, but I'm not the same person anymore. I'm stronger, I'm healing, and for the first time, I feel hopeful. This is my new beginning.